huge big gaps. 3 that are absolutely wonderful at their job, 3 that are absolutely terrible at their job, and 4 that don't really do a very good job at all. That's happened because you had such a small number of criteria, and I don't see that it's relevant in terms of a council grade. If you're going to do that, you really have to say, here's what we think of council's performance on whether or not they approved a budget increase. Basically, that's what it came down to.
Yeah, so again, our focus was to convey a nonpartisan message. So we worked and debated amongst ourselves what issues were we going to choose. And I should say too, because a lot of the focus has been on the attendance and the response frequency, but that represents, all 3 of those categories only represent 30% of the overall grade. And that's kind of been missed. Some people have picked up on that, but 70% of the grade is made up of those 2 issues and basically how they voted. So those 2 issues, excuse me, we chose those after some debate, and the thought behind it was they were almost purely financial issues. We wanted to avoid issues like the tent city policing costs, because there was such a strong social implication. Likewise with the backyard chickens. We've gone back and forth about how the Peterborough Ratepayers feel about that, but we didn't want to bring any kind of political stance to it or take away from some of these social issues that Peterborough is facing. So we did settle on those 2 issues because they were almost purely financial in focus, and that is the focus of our group. I think some people have taken our report card out of context. This is not our position on how City Council is doing overall. This is not ranking them on the bigger picture issues, these social issues that are going on. The focus here is financial accountability and the efficient use of local funds. So that's something that's well known, certainly within our board and our membership, but as this message, as we put it out there, it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And I think that's been lost. A lot of people feel, oh, this is some politically biased group who's saying that our council is failing horribly. But the message here is there's a fiscal focus that is driving us.
If you had to do it all over again, would you have used either different verbiage when you put the report card out to explain the Ratepayers Association's stance on these issues, or would you have used different metrics altogether, perhaps things that measured like their, the political job that they've done as opposed to the administrative aspect of their job? So
I think what we're taking back certainly is a little more context, given that we released it to our membership, but then we did release it to media outlets. So I think what we missed was, with the media outlets, there probably should have been a little more context to provide that focus that we are fiscally, that is our one top of mind priority is local government and efficient use of funds. So I think that was missed, and that's something we'll take away. As far as the administrative, the 30% that made up, those are easy metrics that we have recordable data on it. There's email chains or there is attendance records that we've kind of painstakingly pulled from the Peterborough website, the City of Peterborough. So that we think will always continue. The issues, again, we did have some debate. We have taken a lot of heat that we are too narrowly focused, but I think that is for our membership and for the board to assess, did we miss the mark here? Right now, certainly we all stand behind the 2 issues that we've put forward here in this report card. But I think broadening that, we have to be very careful not to impinge upon social issues and make that a bigger part of the story.